All right, so this is Plightcast number 14. Today is September 13th. Uh, I'm solo.
Cobaltios?
Cariel's in here.
And I feel like it's been a good while since we've had a recording. I
Yeah.
imagine we've all been up to stuff. I know I have. But do any of you want to talk about what you've been up to over the past like month or so since the last podcast episode, or should I go first?
I'll go first. So I haven't really been. I mean, I've been watching anime. But though, I mean, I've kind of been dispersing it. So there have been a couple of things that have been out of the norm that I've done. So the first thing I did is actually read a comic for like the first time in a long while. I
Like an
know,
American
right?
comic?
What was that?
Like like a DC or Marvel comic or something, or?
No, no, it's not even a Marvel comic. It's an independent comic. So see, that's even yeah, that's even way further. So the comic that I read was Pariah, Missouri. So so the way that I found out was that I decided to do take up reviews at the fandom post. So I was tasked with this, and I thought, I'll give it a read because it seemed interesting, and I thought that it would be, an interesting thing since it's like completely different than what I have, what I've normally done. So the concept of Pariah, Missouri is that. It's like a supernatural western where you have Hiram that assembles like a whole bunch of people in order to go take down these supernatural events. And so the first one was when they were doing supernatural things have been occurring, such as like massive disappearance of many different people. And so it's up to Hiram and like the gang in order to find out how these experiences are occurring and how they're being assembled. And reading it all over, it was really, really interesting. The plot was very interesting. The way that Hiram is introduced, kind of developed, and then how he assembles a lot more of his crew, just like Nelly, Jean, and Toro. Uh,
Hmm.
like how he talks to all of them, how he kind of brings them into his own group, and how they each kind of contribute to their own stuff. But the art style was also really, really nice too. Very unique, different. The coloring was very, very nice, and the character designs were really, really appropriate for the series. I just had like a couple of quibbles that were kind of persistent throughout the whole entire series. Um, I I just felt like the characters were good, but they just weren't characterized enough. I thought the writing is good. Could have been a bit better, but it wasn't that bad. I thought it was actually really interesting, And I think for a first starter, it was good. It was pretty good. Um, it I mean, I have it in review. You guys go check it out. But if you told me what I would suggest buy it. Andre Salazar and Jose Luis Pescador really did awesomely on this series, and it was a thrill just trying to see how Prime, Missouri works as a supernatural town, and how like all these characters are starting to assemble and start to create a sense of what the town is about, and of the story. So I was really psyched about that.
And
So
this is a
Really good.
Western?
what?
This is
That
a
sounds
Western?
really good.
Yeah, it's like a super western. Yeah, yeah. So you'll see that a lot of the it's not like those like I would say those teched out westerns. It's like no, it actually feels more of a western. And one thing that was very interesting was that they kept a lot of the dialogue as faithful to what they would do as they possibly can for a western, for especially for the historical accuracies.
Yeah.
Um, and that was very potent because it makes things a lot more realistic for what they're trying to get through. Although supernatural realism is, you know, that your mileage may vary on that, but overall, it was really good. I have to say you got to give props to the team. They did well. Salazar and Pescador is going to go really far with this series as long as they continue to maintain and excel on the writing and like the art style and the direction that they're going. So um, that's pretty much it. I have a lot more information, but you can read the review. That's pretty much what will get out my true feelings about that. But the other thing I did, funny enough, or also review was Excel World. That review hasn't come out yet, but uh, the funny thing about Excel World is that I watched the anime. I watched a couple of the episodes of the anime, and reading the light novel. The light novel pretty much like the anime pretty much follows the light novel almost to a T, to the point where if you watch the anime you could literally read the light novel and know exactly what like episode they decided to do on,
That's actually
which
pretty good because it doesn't
yeah I mean
usually happen a
Yeah,
lot
I
often.
agree.
yeah, so that was pretty nice, but like I thought it was good. I thought Reki could be a lot better. I think that the issues I had were like translation. Translation sometimes were a little bit literal for a light novel, which whatever. It was a little more of a detriment here than other places, but you know I think my biggest issue with Reki is the fact that like him as an author, he does sort of online too. Like I feel like his main characters aren't how I put this they they try to be relatable or try to give power fantasies, but they don't do it well as they should do it. Like Haruyuki, which is the main character of Excel, is bullied consistently. He's bullied. He has fractured friendships. The only place where he actually can function well is the online world. Like that's why his avatar as a pig can do such awesome stuff at what is it at squash, but the problem is that as you see oh gosh, Kurohime. Oh god, that yeah. Sorry, that name still gets to me. I don't know how the heck they could throw so much like okay, but like on a serious note though, the biggest issue I had with it was that Haruyuki may be a cool character in certain areas because he's a little more relatable to those who are kind of on these society's anti norms, but at the same time he could be really really infuriating. Like yeah, like for instance, Kuroyuki Hime. That's it. She like Chihiru, which is his one of his best friends that are drifting away, that constantly couldn't care for him, and then he constantly beats himself down, and it's like you're reading this, and you just want to shake the guy and say, look, they're being honest. Stop being a jerk. And it feels like Reki gets away with being able to do that, and I guess it annoys me because at the end of the day, like or the full name of Reki is Reki Kawahara, but Kawahara actually could get away with doing a lot more for what he's trying to build with Excel World. The fights are okay. They were pretty interesting. The dialogue's okay. It could be better, but I mean, it's like the same thing with Sword Art Online, where it's just like I don't mind it, but it's like it could be so much more. And I feel like they don't explore that so much more. Like for instance, what is it? Haru's mom and how she's set up. I feel like that'd be more interesting to find out about. We don't find out about that in the first volume. Um, like some of the other characters, it's like they could be interesting too and see more of their dynamic, and you don't get that out of volume one. So it's like it was okay. It was okay. I think the biggest issue besides that was so in light novels they like to have drawings, right? And so they'll put like drawings, inserts for certain things that occur and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah,
most
I've seen that before. Yeah.
yeah, I think the most infuriating thing about it is that a lot of those drawings are fan servicey, but like the action scenes, which would have been awesome to draw, they completely don't do that. And it's like, okay, so you'll throw in all the stuff for fan service, but when you're having like awesome action, you want to like show like the scope of the world and stuff like that. By all means, you're saying nope, we're not going to draw that. That's really disappointing.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I was a bit upset about that. But I mean, it's a good read. We'll see what happens. I think it's definitely publishable. I think Jed Press picked a good winner. We'll see what happens as it gets further and further. And then my review will be out hopefully within the next week to get out to people. So with that being said, that's pretty much all what I did.
All right. Well, I watched and read a bunch of stuff, but some of it I don't want to talk about because I'm doing it for my light post. But I watched the first two Madoka movies a couple weeks ago.
Oh boy.
I actually, so I've seen the series as well. It was a good long time ago, but I saw it and I enjoyed it. Um, and so I was kind of interested in getting back into Madoka, just to kind of refresh my memory of it. But I didn't want to rewatch the series, so I figured I'd give the movies a shot. Um, so I actually quite enjoyed them. Um, what I didn't realize, there's three movies.
I say, yeah, there are three.
Yeah, the third one, only the first two are actually concerning the series. They're two a combined recap of the series. The third one, Rebellion, is a sequel of some sort, I think. And I haven't seen that one, so I don't really know what it pertains to in terms of plot. I'd be interested to know because they finish it pretty. They put a pretty neat bow on the story at the end of both the series and the movies. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed the recap movies. I actually think now bear with me. I think the movies might be a better way to experience the Madoka story than the series.
Huh.
I enjoyed the movies a little bit more. I think than I did the series.
Do you think it's because of the pacing and how things are set up for the movies? I mean, if you look at animated TV series, it's 30 minutes, 12 episodes, so or 25,
Most
20.
of the time, anyway.
Yeah, but it's about roughly what 4 hours for a series versus maybe 3 hours for 3 hours for two movies. Maybe the pacing was better.
Yeah, maybe. With three, because when actually the two movies in terms of combined time are probably like maybe 2 hours shorter than the series. What I had thought was that the movies were equivalent in running time to the series, but that's only if you count the third movie.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the movies are like almost 2 hours long, I want to say. Um, so they're pretty significant time investments, but I feel like the story of Madoka is better suited to a feature presentation than being split up to on an episode by episode basis. Um, I just feel like it's more entertaining, more enjoyable to take in.
Okay.
It's the sort of series, or it's the sort of story that I feel like you could sit in a movie theater and like enjoy more than you would in your living room.
Okay.
Especially stuff like the really climactic scenes with like Homura's showdowns and such. But it also reminded me just how great a character Homura is. I remember I really liked her when I first saw the series, and the movies just reminded me of why.
I was pretty impressed by the dub of it too, actually.
Yeah, I rewatched it in Japanese, but I'm sure it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think I actually heard Homura's dub voice. I thought it was pretty good. So
Okay.
yeah, so those are pretty good. And then I watched Neko Monogatari a little while ago.
Okay.
Is that the second or is that the third one?
That's the third one.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the the makeup of the Monogatari series is kind of impenetrable. Um, so you have Bakemonogatari, which is the first series. Then you have Nisei Monogatari, which is a sequel. And then you have Nekomonogatari, which was a 4 episode kind of like OVA lead-in to the second season.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of I still can't get over that they just called it second season when it's technically not,
Seriously?
but
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
it's like the third season really. But Nekomonogatari is only 4 episodes, and it still took me like a week or two to get through it because it was I don't know why, but I had a really tough time motivating myself to finish it. Um, which is it's strange because I really, really, really liked Nisei Monogatari. That's what put the series like on the map for me. So I was kind of looking forward to this one because it was I figured it was gonna be short and sweet. But I don't know. I feel like dialogue just wasn't up to par with previous like Nisei Monogatari and Bakemonogatari. Um,
Okay.
And Nekomonogatari is a lot more focused on story than it is on just random conversations, which I
Mm-hmm.
feel like are the best parts of the Monogatari series. Like, there's story, yeah, but like what I always enjoyed about them was that the main character, Araragi, like he never, when he encounters someone like on the street or something, he never just like says hi and they keep going about their ways. Like they always stop and have this deep. Well, sometimes it's deep, sometimes it's like completely silly, sometimes it's like metaphysical in nature. They always have these completely random and drawn out conversations that make they at the same time they make no sense and also make a lot of sense, but they're
Mm-hmm.
always like super entertaining. Um, but there's not very much of that in Nekomonogatari. It was a lot more plot focused, and I don't think the plot of Monogatari is that interesting to be honest. But um, and it's one character arc. It focuses on one of the girls, Hanekawa,
Mm-hmm.
where, whereas most of the time the Monogatari series they're split up into character arcs. So you'll have like a couple episodes focusing on one character, then the next couple of episodes focusing on another character.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't like the current arc, you have the next one to look forward to. Um, Nekomonogatari is just one character. So if you don't like that character, then
You're at it. You're at it.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't like.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I liked Hanekawa, but I guess not as much as I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, it was okay. I don't think it's up to par with Bakemonogatari or Nisei Monogatari. But if you like Hanekawa a lot, maybe you'll like it. Um, and then I watched. I don't think I talked about this last time. I watched Gundam 0083.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's a UC side story. It's before Gundam Zeta. It takes place before Gundam Zeta. Um, for anyone who's seen Zeta, it kind of leads into the formation of the Titans, who are the big villainous organization in Zeta. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but 0083, it was pretty good. Um, was it's about this guy Cole, who
Mm-hmm.
is a Federation pilot, um, and it's it's you have the typical trappings of a Gundam series, like they're developing these two new prototypes, um,
Mm-hmm.
the Gundam Unit 1 and the Gundam Unit 2, and one of them gets stolen. The Unit 2 gets stolen by some remnants of the Zeon, because they were defeated at the end of the first Gundam show, the Zeon were, but there's kind of like remnants of them just kind of lurking around trying to figure out
Yeah.
ways to continue the fight. Um,
Yeah.
and so some of them they appear and steal the GP Unit 02 or whatever. And what's special about the GP02 is that basically a glorified nuke launcher. It has a bazooka that can load nuclear rockets, um, and so that's a big problem for for the Federations because now they have this mobile suit in enemy hands that can shoot nukes at them, um, or like at Earth, for example. Um, and so a lot of the series is about Cole and his crew using the GPO-1 to try and get back the Unit 2. Uh, and I enjoyed it. The animation in that series it's really good. Like even for its time, I think it was probably really good even at the time. Like it's a I want to say it's an early mid 90s show. Uh,
Okay.
and I think Victory came out around the same time, and it is animated way better than Victory is.
But wasn't Victory the point where, like, I think after Sunrise was acquired by Bandai, Tomino was like, "Screw this, I'm gonna create Victory," and it was like horrible.
Well, I don't know about the quality of Victory, but I've seen some footage of it, and I mean it's animated fine. It's just 0083 is animated exceptionally well.
Okay.
Um, but
I've only seen Gundam Wing, to be honest, and even then it was only like a couple episodes, if that.
yeah, they're generally entertaining shows. Um,
I mean,
but
I appreciate it more now, though, since when I first saw it, I had no idea what was going on and was really confused. So I may have a better appreciation of it now.
yeah, Wing especially can throw you for a loop. I feel like.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think what's interesting. This is a 13 episode series, but I feel like you get a lot of what you would get from a 50 episode series. Like Cole gets his mid-season upgrades. He gets a couple of upgrades throughout the series. Um, like he has his rival, he has a love interest. They have this big final battle, um, and there's like actual story arcs and such. It's pretty well paced for
Yeah. You know, I feel like sometimes the Gundam formula works very well in 13 episode series. I remember 8th MS Team. Like, I
yeah
think today that's like my top three Gundams. And I think it's between G Gundam, Gundam 00, and 8th MS Team. And I liked 8th MS Team very much. It did everything you wanted in a Gundam in 13 episodes, and it was just amazing.
yeah me too. Those some of these series, these shorter series, they make you kind of think like do these shows need to be 50 episodes long? Which I mean
Exactly.
I don't mind them being that long, but it's interesting. You can watch Stardust Memory, and I feel like you can walk away with a lot of what you would expect from a full length Gundam show, which is pretty
Hmm.
cool. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it for me, other than Ruby, which I'm sure Cobalt's gonna get to. So
Yeah. My turn, I guess. All right. So from from most frustrating to least frustrating. I went back to Pokemon because I've been behind by about, I guess, half a saga. So I finished off season 15, which was only 2 episodes I had to finish, and then I started working on season 16, which is kind of divided into two chunks, which is weird for that series. I'm only doing this because I want to get to X and Y because I am sorry, but I don't like Black and White, but I figure I might as well at least give it a chance and finish it finally.
season
But
16, that's
that's
black and white.
that's the third chunk of Black and White. So you have season 14, which is Black and White, season 15, which is a Black and White Rival Destinies, and season 16, which is Adventures of Unova, and then Adventures of Unova and Beyond. So
Huh.
that's that part.
That's weird that it got so many.
Yeah,
Do,
it's even that was
do games usually get that much content?
Well,
so.
I think that's because of Black and White having a sequel. So
See, the thing about Black and White is that for Adventures of Unova, it contains the League and the Team Plasma arc. After that, the Beyond part is for the Dick Caloris Island arc, which is what I'm actually looking forward to, which is ironic considering I actually don't want anything to do with that. But now that I've completed the league and I'm about to start Team Plasma, I'm like, okay, I'm actually not too bad with this now. Because the league was just disappointing as hell. It makes the Kanto one from the original series look entertaining.
What, you mean Orange Islands or?
No. The original
The original
Indigo
Pokemon
League.
League.
Oh,
It makes
okay.
that look entertaining.
So when you
It
say
makes that
league, you mean just going
It
through
makes
like the
that look
gyms?
legitimately fun. That's how bad this one was. I'm like, I'll talk about it later, but I can't believe I actually skimmed through the episodes now just to see how bad a screw I'm gonna get.
So when you say league, do you mean just going through the gyms? Basically,
No. I mean the actual Pokemon League itself, like actually battling the big trainer type thing at the end of the series type thing.
Oh, okay, like the Elite Four.
Yeah, they don't really do that in this show. They kind of just have like the tournament style thing going on.
Oh,
It's how it's always been.
okay.
Some have been better than others, and this one was just it was disappointing as hell. I've never been so disappointed in a league before. Like, I'll explain why in a minute, later on, but I'll get on with this since we have limited time. The other one, which was mildly frustrating but still not too bad, was Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I'll be honest, I liked it. It wasn't as bad as everyone was saying it was. It was fun to watch. It had some moments, but just some stuff like I wanted to go, oh come on, why would you do that? Or wait, why was this doing here? Or just like stuff that didn't really make sense, or that were kind of just out of place, I guess. Like they were developing one storyline and then jump to the next one before the other one was finished. I'm like, God damn it, keep it consistent, guys. And then the ending, I'm like, oh come on! Are you telling me the thing in the trailer was the ending of it?
You, you know, I've been noticing that some movies have been doing exactly just that because the trailers want to make it more actiony, and they don't realize that they just spoil the whole entire movie.
The recent Godzilla promotion for the Blu-ray, they literally just put the ending scenes in it. I'm like, are you kidding me? They spoiled they spoiled the atomic breath in the freaking TV spot for the Blu-ray. I'm mad. That's the biggest part of the movie, and you spoiled it right there. Like, God damn you. So okay. So I mean, I'll be honest. Amazing Spider-Man 2 had some good stuff. Like they had the typical Spidey humor, which is good because that's kind of his thing. So I'm glad they kept that. It made it entertaining still. I have to say, I actually thought Harry as the Green Goblin was actually a lot more intimidating than the one from the first movie. Well, the original one. Because I know he just looked like crazed, I guess, which kind of adds to the more twisted thing that he is, I guess, which makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. Electro is also pretty neat. His theme is downright creepy, which actually works really well for him.
Okay.
But and yes, there's the whole spoiler. I guess can I say it?
It's already out, so go ahead.
Alright. So the whole thing about Gwen Stacy's death, I've known about that since when they announced the damn movies being made, because apparently some of us are like, oh yeah, they're gonna do that in a movie. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I knew about that. I knew that was gonna happen a mile away. I just wasn't sure when it was gonna happen. So the whole impact of it was lessened significantly for me. So I'm like, okay, she's dead. Now, I guess we'll just keep going then.
Is it because the movie just didn't handle the moment well, or because you already knew going into the movie?
I just knew about it in advance. So that's kind of why I wasn't too bothered by it. It was still kind of an emotional scene. I just didn't really think much about it because I'm like, oh yeah, I know it's gonna happen. I'm just not sure when.
Okay.
I did find it weird that they had the ghost of what's his name, Captain Stacy there, which is kind of strange. But anyways, yeah. So that was that.
How's it? Have you seen the first one? Like
yeah,
the first Amazing Spider-Man?
I like the first Amazing Spider-Man. I thought that was pretty well done.
So you think this one's maybe not as good?
I would say I would give the first one an 8. This one was probably a 6 or a 7.
Okay.
And finally, so I guess we're done with this arc of Ruby. So we had the whole prom thing happen, and I'm actually really happy with what happened because Jean finally gets a hint for once, which was refreshing as
It
hell.
amazes me that he actually that it took him this long. It really does.
No, I
I'm like,
agree.
oh, and then I'm actually glad because I'm like, because people on Tumblr are just really getting mad at him, and then finally like, about goddamn time.
Because John, like, he doesn't, at least in
Yeah,
like the past couple episodes, like he doesn't come off as being like super unintelligent.
no.
He's just not that skilled.
So now that he's
But
finally caught on, it's and then they had the kick-ass Juniper dance thing, which was awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I skipped through that. I was
Oh
like,
no, that was
and no.
no. I'm sorry, that was cool.
you, you know, like I didn't mind the last two episodes, but like the latest episode with the whole prop thing, like I'm gonna get shot for this, but like realistically, it showed the absolutely limitations of Poser, and it showed like the limitations of the animations. Like I guess for me, it was like the first time in like I think ever that I just simply said, "Wow, they needed more animation loops in this." It
To be
it,
honest,
it, it really felt stiff.
though, episode 6 was not done at all by Monty, which was interesting because apparently they had like different animators for this thing. So that one actually had like a little bit different animation style to it, which I thought was neat that they actually did that. And apparently the
Well,
dance sequence was actually done by Monty, which I think is kind of funny in a way.
well, yeah, like I didn't see that part, but it's like I don't know, like the guy, I don't know. I think it was just a quality drop. Like the thing is this, like I could see what was going on, I could see what he was going for, but like things that felt like it should have sped, like faster, didn't feel fast at all. And then like the dancing just felt very stiff. Like they were all doing it at the exact same time.
Well,
And
it
it
is
was like,
choreographed.
well, like, okay, so there's a difference between it being done organically and like artificially. It felt artificially connected
Oh,
because it's like they all moved at like the exact same timing. Like the thing is that generally speaking, with dancing, like even though you will move at the exact same time, like I would feel like certain people would finish off a little bit like slower than others. And I didn't feel that at all. So I was like, oh, that feels limiting. But I mean, I don't know. Like that's just me.
also,
yeah,
I thought
I mean,
I was actually pretty happy. Another thing that I thought was kind of strange is that, um, storyline related, is that we had this whole thing with, I guess, Cinder and the other two guys, but even after her little infiltration at the Beacon Tower, or whatever it's called, CRT, I think, I forget what the actual what it's called,
Hmm.
but they had all that, and we still don't know what they're actually up to. I'm like, okay, so she hacked into the thing. She put virus. What did she do? I'm a little confused now.
yeah, because she showed that needle at the end of one of the episodes, like I think it was
That
5
was
or whatever.
I was
Like,
kind of like, yeah, I was that kind of was like, okay, what's gonna happen now? And then you see at the episode 6, you see Mercury and Emerald show up. They're going, okay, so what's gonna happen now? And then we finally see Cinder. It's like that's all she was doing. It was just a version. Oh, I was kind of thinking they were gonna crash their prom or something. Okay, nothing too big happened. I'm all relieved now.
Yeah, that was interesting. Like it was
And
very anticlimactic.
although
But if you go
yeah,
ahead.
to go with what you're saying about limitations of Poser, though, when you would see Cinder kind of running across the rooftops, yes, I'll admit
Yeah,
it looked really janky there. I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. That's exactly one of the
but
parts.
like
I was just like,
I guess
go
when
ahead.
when it's like something as normal as walking, it was really stiff there. But I guess other stuff it wasn't as noticeable. I guess because they're starting to get a little bit better with it, but they kind of hide it. But yeah, that was kind of weird. And I'm actually glad we have to. I was kind of surprised. Cinder has a weapon now. She has a bow and arrow slash dual blades. I wasn't expecting that.
yeah,
So
I think
like,
isn't that the first time we've seen her use a weapon? Usually
Yeah,
she just casts fire.
yeah. She's usually just uses fire or dust related stuff. This time she actually used a weapon. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know she had one.
Yeah.
And I guess going back a bit, episode 5, we see Pyrrha basically curb stomp Team Cardinal, which was hilarious in a sense because no one cares about them. So it was kind of funny just to watch her completely decimate them, and like without even like trying almost.
Her duel with Mercury was kind of interesting.
That was people were so worried about that because I guess early on in the season we kind of unintentionally saw him kill someone, so they're kind of worried about it. But then we're like, it's a school thing, so they won't go that far with it, which of course was the case here. So there's that.
Although I
And
feel like it was kind of subtly done, but I feel like they did a good job kind of like um, conveying that in a real fight, Mercury could probably beat Hera. I feel like the
yeah,
only reason that they were evenly matched was because Mercury didn't know about her semblance.
yeah. And now he knows, kind of thing. She
Yeah.
kind of told the two. And also in episode 6, which I think we've been waiting a while for this, the backstory behind Yang and Ruby, and now we know how they're related, which is both interesting and kind of eye-opening.
Yeah.
So now we know that I guess they are related, just not in the way we expected. Like, I guess Yang's mother left them, I guess, and then Yang's father married Summer, and that's how we got Ruby. So I guess they're related, but not in the way we expected them to be, I guess, which is kind of interesting. Which also means that Crow is both Yang and Ruby's uncle, I guess now.
Yeah.
So that'd make them half sisters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it probably amounts to now. Because that was kind of cause now at least we know why they're still sisters despite having different last names at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, wouldn't they share their father's last name?
You know,
I think that's it. Yeah, which raises even more questions now.
Darn it, Solo,
I mean,
you're breaking canon.
I mean, it could just be that their mothers decided to
Oh, yeah.
keep their last
And
names. But
I won't lie, but the funniest part of episode 6 was how Yang got Blake's attention. I am sorry, but that was hysterical. She because we all know she's a cat, and well, she's laser pointer to get her attention, and it was pretty funny because like you expected to get to work, and then she gets pissed off by it at first, and then she just does follow it to find out who the hell's trying to bother her.
yeah, that was pretty good.
So that's pretty much what I watched last little while. And I find it funny that our podcast lands right after episode 7 ends, so that now we have a break between that, and then I'll probably have the next podcast right at the end of the next break, which will be hilarious.
Yeah.
I will say that I know they explained this, but I could not believe that Pyra couldn't get a single date to the prom. I mean, yeah, they say like, oh, they put me on a pedestal and I'm like separated from the people, but I don't like. She's not that different from Weiss in that regard. I feel like, and Weiss has boys all over her.
You know, that's a good point, but I think there's just two. Oh god, this is gonna get slightly creepy, but okay, there's a difference between this girl is hard to get, but I can like talk to her and maybe play my chances, versus this person is hard to get and there's no way of being being able to even talk to her. I think that's the problem. I think that for a lot of people, Vice is just. Vice seems like a person that, if you talk to her and stuff like that, maybe you'd get somewhere. But then again, I think it's just John being John and like him not realizing that like Vice just doesn't like him. Like that. I guess the weird thing about the
Well, I would have thought it would be
on
actually
the Pyrrha, so at least now it's gonna go that way, hopefully. So we shouldn't have too many things of him trying to go for Weiss now, which might be better.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have thought it would be the other way then by that logic because like Weiss is actually pretty mean. Like she's not that approachable, whereas Pyrrha's pretty nice to people. And she carries herself that way too. So
yeah, people are weird. Like I don't know. I feel like I to be quite honest, I feel like that might have been one of those like weird writing limitations where if it would have been extended from like a 15 to 24 episode, there would have been a little bit of banter of, oh, I would like. Do you want to go with like do you want to go with such and stuff? Like they would have bantered about it, and then you would be able to confirm that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't that's just weird. But I agree. It was pretty weird that was happening.
I'm surprised she didn't just ask someone if she really wanted a date. I mean, she could have
Well,
asked John.
she was trying to. I was very disappointed that didn't happen.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
Neptune can't dance. That's why he did. That's why when Weiss approached him, he didn't agree to it because he can't dance apparently, which is kind of funny.
no, that was just a BS excuse, man. I agree. I was like, I wanted John to just punch him right there, and take him together, just say like, no, you can't. That is such a lame excuse. Like,
It was funny though. I'll be honest. It was.
no, it was funny, but it was like pathetic funny. It was like, come on, man, really? Like, oh god, I don't know. I would have been better off if he would have said something completely different from that. I know you try doing lame stuff, but like I don't know. I would have liked and appreciated better if it would have been for I don't know, like he didn't have like a suit, or he whenever he sees Vice, he like kind of freaks out a bit internally and then tries to do stuff, but sometimes it comes overdone. But I don't know. Like I found it hilarious, but it was like the saddest point. I was just like, man, that's so lame.
Yeah.
But,
All right. So are we doing the topics now? I guess.
yeah. I mean, realistically, I mean, there are some stuff happening. But let's talk about something that's a little bit I don't know, underpinned for the for the week. It was actually like, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying to skirt over this topic because I don't want to approach it too fast. But I was thinking to talk about Korra, but I still want to say that for a little bit later. So let's talk about. I would just say there's been some interesting stuff happening, I guess, with just like comic announcements. Like, have you guys heard about some? I mean, of course, the series are returning, like sorry, comics for live action. Like, for instance, Agents of Shield is coming back, Arrow is coming back, Flash is getting his own series. But did you guys hear they're also thinking about putting the Teen Titans on TNT?
Really? How is that
Yeah.
gonna work?
I want to say I heard in passing that Supergirl's getting a series on CW as well.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. It's like, oh crap, Warner Brothers finally realized they have they have superheroes. I'm sorry.
Like, we can't make movies. People, Marvel will make TV shows.
Yeah, it's like,
I feel bad almost for that.
well, it's like I think they finally understand that stories will make people gravitate towards people, and if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. But like, it's just like it. It's like you took so long to realize this. Why?
Oh well, better late than never, I guess.
Yeah, like it was pretty crazy that there's been rumors about that, and the fact that they were also aiming for TNT. They're also thinking of trying to do like a they're also thinking about trying to do like a Nightwing movie. Like here I am thinking Solo's probably saying yes, I want all of these happening.
Well,
It
a
sounds
nice
neat,
movie, I don't know.
I don't think you see much of him these days, and just in general. So that'd be kind of nice to see that.
Well, I mean, I guess if they can pull off a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, then they can do a Nightwing
Well,
movie.
Marvel
But
can pull off anything at this point.
I'm just saying in terms of relatively obscure characters.
Yeah, true.
'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, Nightwing has his fan base, but he's no Batman.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's also. Go ahead.
A mildly related DC note: we saw the Batman versus Superman in Batmobile, which in no way looks like the one from Arkham Knight. So it's like, yeah, they're trying to. It's like I guess they want to make a new one, but at the same time, it's like the game version has already been revealed, and it looks almost identical to it. So it's like, yeah, you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm pissed because it feels like they're gonna do another Batman series, and it's just like, man, if they just want to continue from what Nolan did, it probably would be a lot better transition. But they're gonna still scrap it for another Batman movie.
I would actually prefer they kind of swept the Nolan movies under the rug, but
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
wow.
I mean, I didn't dislike them. I just if I'm getting a comic movie, I'd rather it be not as grim in tone as the Nolan movies were. Even for a
Okay,
Batman, like
that's
even
fair.
even the comics, the Batman comics aren't as like down to earth as those movies were. At some point, I've at some point I feel like I'm not really getting what I would expect from a Batman story out of them. But
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
yeah,
But yeah, I just found that that was interesting. The fact that they're now turning the gears for that. I mean, I looked at the Batmobile. I was like, I gotta see it in motion. Like when I saw the Tumbler, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Then I saw it in motion. I'm like, wow, that's really awesome. This one, I'm just like, we'll see how it handles.
it looks over designed in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it does actually.
You know, I kind of agree.
Yeah, like there's just so many details, unnecessary details. I feel like.
Like if
Um,
they could have used the one from Arkham Knight, that would have been that would actually been better in a way, even though it would be kind of ripping from the game, but still, at least it's something that's kind of similar but different.
yeah,
hmm
yeah.
I
The
think
sleeker Batmobile is like. I mean that's great too. But I don't know if that would fit in a live action setting.
yeah. I
Like
think the thing
the
is I think the thing is that for me, when it came to at least a Tumblr for the Nolan movies, it was big. It was kind of big and like bulky, but at the same time, it was like realistic for combat. You know what I mean? But this one looks like it's for combat, but it looks like yo, we have to do over the top things just to make it more feel like Batman's there. When in reality, Batman's like I guess from the Bruce Timm era of Batman, I've always felt like the Batmobiles have been always sleek, you know,
yeah
designed. They're minimalistic in the sense that you don't see what it has until it projects it, and that's the great thing about about the Batmobile, you know.
yeah yeah. And I like the Tumblr a lot too. But I don't know. It feels like this one. It's like they're trying to make the Tumblr more comic book like. Um,
hmm
and I don't feel like it works. But it's not a horrible design.
We'll see.
It's one of the weaker ones in my opinion.
We'll see. Who knows?
I guess
yeah.
as long as it has the thruster in the back, I'm all right.
T-
Really.
That's true.
yeah, yeah. But that's pretty cool. Um, that I found interesting. Um, I think the also thing that is that was interesting that oh my gosh, I can't believe this, but that I was like looking up to and I didn't really ask properly was the was Cobaltios's what is it, Fan Expo talk. I mean, he's been hyping up about this and it really seemed interesting from the fact of what he was doing and you know all the other cool stuff that was going on there. So Cobalt, you want to talk about that?
Sure. So I guess you guys are relatively familiar with Comic Con, right? And you guys, and I think Kiri also went to was it Otakon or something?
Yeah, Articon and Anime Expo.
All
Yeah,
right.
so I
So
know that.
so what Fan Expo is it's kind of like a mix between that, in a sense that it's essentially a place for the fans. So anything that has a fan base, be it cartoons, comics, movies, horror, anime, games, you name it, it's there. And it's just this massive congregation of all these fans for this. And um, the way it was set up for this year is that it has two buildings in which the north building, which is where I got in from, has all the places where you get to sign autographs from like the different people you want to meet, or and it had I think the horror area, as well as just a bunch of places to buy random little trinkets and whatnot and stuff like really hard to find figures or stuff like that, like kind of stuff like that. And it also had this, I guess, a booth for like PC gaming. So like they had even had like an Intel section, so they had people playing StarCraft 2, like the really high level players type thing that promote that and all that.
Yeah.
So that was mostly the north building. The south building was where I was mostly at, and that had the anime, gaming, comics, stuff like that. And it also had an artist corner where you could see independent comics and whatnot. So my original idea for when I went to go there was just to take lots of pictures, because I initially didn't really have too much planned for that event, since, to be honest, there wasn't really a whole lot I was planning on seeing. It wasn't until literally the week before the event that some guy, SUM_GUI, told me that the voice actresses from Ruby, two of them, Lindsay Jones and Barbara Dinkelman were going to be there, that I got a little more hype than I probably was expecting to be. So I spent about like maybe a good hour trying to figure out where they might be, because they didn't really find any actual booths for them, and I was a little worried. And then I guess when I went to the south building, I finally found out, oh, they're down here somewhere. So I noticed there's like a time thing for it, like about, I think it was like a 4 p.m. they said they were going to be there. So I ended up spending like a good couple hours after the fact, just kind of browsing around, kind of killing time until then. And they were doing the lineups for it at around 3 p.m. I believe. So
Okay.
I got when I got there around just after like 2:55, I think it was. There was already people in line, and
Yep.
now, okay, so I guess in a way I understand how big Ruby has gotten lately. Because I mean, when at Rooster Teeth Expo, when the first episode was first showcased there, they played to a full house. I wasn't exactly sure how big it would be out in Canada, but I found out while I was in line, people from Ottawa were there. All the way from Ottawa came to see people. So Ruby is just as big up in Canada as it is in the States, if not maybe about the same. And it was insane because by 3:30, the lineup I was in was practically full.
Yeah. You. Was this like your first convention, or was this
No,
like?
this is my like my well, it's my first convention in a while. I've been to other ones, but like I haven't been to this thing in a while, and I knew it was gonna be packed, but I was kind of surprised at how big Ruby had just gotten lately. Like there's a lot of cosplayers in line. It was insane.
I'm not surprised. I guess I'm not surprised about the whole Ottawa thing, because like there are people that literally fly from coast to coast just to get to like San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
There are people that actually like do international flights. Like that's how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, and Fan Expo is it got pretty big too, considering like they had to like spread this whole thing between two floors, and it was still like hard to move at times because it was how packed it was.
Mhm.
And when I finally, when I finally got around to getting my autograph sign and all that, I'm not usually the kind of individual who has ever had like any big people to be fans of and all that, because most stuff I'm usually a fan of doesn't usually have people who are I can like easily get access to and all that. So I usually don't really I'm not too excited for that. And so this is the first time I have literally got to see somebody I've actually wanted to see in terms of like I guess minor celebrities. So you can imagine how like complicated it was for me to kind of like talk, because it's like I'm meeting people I'm actually wanting to see for the first time. So it's kind of a bit of a
Wait.
starstruck type moment there. But
I wanted to ask, did one like fangirl or fanboy like ask you to do something and then break down as they were saying it?
Almost.
Like actually have like a
I almost did that. But the great thing about these two people, and I guess the cast in general, they act like normal people. They're like, we're just as excited to see you as you are to see us type thing. So it was like they're very humble people, which I'm very happy about, because it really shows that they're just average people who are just doing this for a job, I guess. It was very nice, and they're just as happy to know that we're watching their show as we are to see them type thing. It was just a really nice back and forth type thing. So I got both of them to sign the my Volume 1 Blu-ray, and I got picture with them, which is pretty much the highlight of the event for me.
That's pretty
Um,
cool.
I also let's see. So well, since I finally got that out of my system, I guess I finally went around to check out their stuff, and I got to play because they had a Xbox area, they had a PlayStation 4, they had Ubisoft and Bethesda. But Ubisoft I didn't really give a shit about because I don't care about them anymore. After all the bullshit they pull, like I'm like, nope, you guys have lost me. So I checked out Sunset Overdrive for Xbox One, which I have to say, to sum it up, it's an Insomniac game, which I'm really happy about because, like, it's the one game that I'm sure a lot of people are like they want to get because it's it's Insomniac and it looks like fun, but they're apprehensive because it's Xbox One. So, but I can safely say that if you do get an Xbox One, buy that game because it's really good. It's everything you want from Insomniac. It has a lot of the same elements they pulled in. Like if you were to reskin it as Ratchet and Clank, it would still work actually, which is really nice. I find so.
Oh,
There
the
was
weapon's
that.
crazy.
Yeah, and they're designed like something you would see in Dead Rising, yet had the functionality of something you would see in Ratchet and Clank. That's how absurd it is, and it works perfectly. Like they have a disc launcher that shoots records. It has I guess a grenade launcher that shoots propane tanks. It's got a freeze thing, which I'm not sure how it does that. It has some kind of Roman candle thing that shoots fireworks that like explode all these like dragon things. It's really cool. It's got like this like stuck together AK-47 thing, which I forgot what it's actually called. Just a whole bunch of really cool things that game does, and I was really happy to play that game. The grinding is a bit weird because of how it's an actual button press to kind of climb around stuff and all that. But it was
Okay.
still done in such a way that once you get the hang of it, it's actually really it flows really well. Um, let's see what else. I didn't get a chance to play Destiny because I didn't really know if it was a lineup or not, so I didn't really bother. I
Yeah,
kinda,
I think after some of the reviews, people are
yeah,
saying,
I guess I'm not missing too much. I'm not really missing out too
yeah.
much. So there was that. They also had the Evil Within. I wanted to try out, but again, didn't have enough time. They had a full they have a real life version of the Batmobile from Arkham Knight that was there. So that was really cool. And I also
That is
got to
pretty cool,
meet
actually.
some guy there.
Oh yeah,
It was funny because he told me he was going to be in a Green Arrow costume. So I saw him there. I'm like, he's the only one with it. Like he's the only one at that age with that costume. I'm like, is it him or not? He didn't tell me if it was me with a friend or not. So is it really him? So I was in line because he was also in line to see Barbara and Lindsay. I'm like, okay, random question. Do you visit a site called Polygon? And then he's like, Kobe. I'm like, oh, finally found you. So shake hand. So yeah, that was kind of. So I got to meet everyone I wanted to meet there. So that was pretty fun. Um, let's see. Um, One thing I think was weird. While I was like on the way, I guess between the buildings, they had these, I guess these not posters, but they have banners for different kind of stuff that are coming out. Did you know they're making a Goosebumps movie?
No.
now that you mention it, I think I've heard that at some
I
point or
am
another.
really like curious, like both apprehensive and both curious, because I'm not too sure how they would do that.
Yeah, me neither. That's a weird idea. But I
Yeah,
guess if you can make a movie out of Battleship, you can make a movie out of anything.
pretty much, yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much my FedExpo experience. You guys have any questions that you'd like to ask about maybe like what was there or like how it worked or something like that?
I guess would you do it again? Because for me personally, it's not like I wouldn't do Anime Expo again. I would. It's just the timing was not my thing.
Mhm.
But for me, Otakon, the question is somebody asked would I do it again? The answer is of course. I've already started planning for it. But what about you?
I think I probably would. I guess like now that I realize what I kind of go for, I think it depends mostly on who would show up there. Because now that I've realized that like I can kind of go crazy for certain people, I guess if I get the proper incentive to go for it, I could probably do it again. But there's just so much to see. Like if you even if you go to see it as one thing, there's still just I think almost you need like at least a couple days to see everything that's there. Because gaming alone, you would need at least a day just to do that. And
Yeah.
It's just a ridiculous amount of stuff that's there.
So it
No,
covered everything,
Um,
like you said, every fan base basically.
yeah, like I think like, I've seen like there's a whole section just for horror stuff. There's a whole section for like PC stuff. There's a whole section for like um not really a whole section, but there's like stuff for movies and whatnot. Like you'll see people dressed up in just about everything. There's like a I guess in between the buildings they had like these little panels for different things. They had Doctor Who panels. They had this thing for LARPs, I guess. They had some of the voice actors from some of the Teletoon series that are almost exclusive to Canada. That I guess sometimes comes to the U.S. They had in the artist area they had like stuff for independent comics, independent short movie films, and that kind of stuff. Just everything was there. Like if you
That seems nuts. Because, like, I mean, the conventions that I've heard of, like, there'll be like Comic-Con, for example.
yeah
Obviously,
usually
that's a comic-focused convention, even though there's like video game news that sometimes comes out there and
like
such.
it's
But I mean, the fact that there's a convention that just covers everything, that just seems absurd. Like how
well, that's San Diego Comic Con in a way. Think about it. Like, San Diego Comic Con covers everything. It says
I
it's
mean hell
but
for like guest appearances you had freaking Hulk Hogan was there. For wrestling.
yeah.
Like
It's
it's
like-
like this thing covers everything. Like
so
although of course there's like the typical booths where you can buy like stuff from like different I guess little shops and whatnot with I guess appropriately priced things that aren't really that cheap and all that, but I still managed to get something cool there. But they had some neat little import games. They had some like anime DVDs, which again I kind of see them going, oh, that's what they mean when they talk about the crazy pricing. I see now. Some figures. I wanted to get like they had like some really neat figures. One of them was of Mew 12 from BlazBlue. Problem was it was in the right color. That they had one of the alt colors. I'm like, oh god damn it! And I'm sure the pricing probably was like just absurd too. So I'm like, uh, yes, but no. But yeah,
how
they
long
just
was
had
it running for? Do you know the convention?
what?
How long was the convention running for?
It was from Friday till Sunday. I think some people will go there on Thursdays for just kind of setup and whatnot. So some people will see some people on Thursdays, but it's just like Anime North and such that they started on Thursday, sort of as like a preliminary setup type thing, and then a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. With Saturday and with Friday and Sunday being shorter because Friday's the start point and Sunday's the ending point, really.
So it's like maybe 3 or 4 days.
About that, yeah.
Yeah. Boy, that doesn't seem like enough time to cover everything. If you were like wanting to see as much as you wanted, as much as you could there.
Yeah.
Boy, that boggles the mind.
but that's pretty awesome. With that being said, I guess we will talk about it now. Korra is, well, like, we won't go into Korra season 3 because we'll save that for a lot later in like the next Plightcast or two. But yeah, Korra's getting a season. Well, we already knew Korra was getting a season 4, but Korra's getting a season 4 very, very early.
Very soon.
Yeah.
I feel like the gap between each season has it's shorter after each season. The gap is like it was pretty. I felt like it was already pretty short when season 3 started. Like I felt like when they announced like season 3 is happening like already, and then now we have season 4 happening like a month after season 3.
I was kind of surprised to see how fast it was coming too, but I almost feel like they're trying to get rid of it in a way.
You know, honestly, I came to the conclusion that Nick does not know how to market Korra. Okay? It came with the expectation that it could be like Avatar, and it wasn't like Avatar, it was its own different series. And so now they're saying, well, we already financially committed to it, let's just burn it off. And for that, I just say, you know what, Nick? Thank you. Because you're not going to waste my time by, like, delaying or by giving me, like, you're not going to give me the Cartoon Network runaround for, like, for their DC comic block where they're like, well, come back later, maybe I'll do this, and it's can't. No. You're just gonna burn off the episodes. As far as I'm concerned, that's fine with me. I'll take burn off episodes over and blah blah.
And if they release it, like, I guess, if they release it in a way that's also works, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Are they streaming again? Like the whole
Yeah, they're
season?
gonna go. Yeah, they're gonna do all online, which means that for the most part, AJ can now. Or sorry. So like, a lot of people can get access to it. Myself included, in the sense that I always try to watch Core. I always did. And third season I tried, but it wouldn't be on Nickelodeon at any point in time. It just wouldn't. So now they're just gonna stream it only. I now know, okay, go to Nick at this particular time, watch it, it's there. And I can do that.
Yeah. I don't even know what to expect from this in terms of plot the next season.
So this one's
Well,
called Balance or something?
oh
Balance?
god. Balance. And I think I won't spoil the joke, but one person on the plight actually made a ridiculously, like, it was like a too soon joke. It was like,
I know what it is too. I can't hear the spoilers.
I was like, I feel so bad for
It
laughing.
involves
at that.
Cora herself, doesn't it?
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, that's so bad, but it's so good.
So,
Is this the
I mean, I
triple
guess,
joke you're talking about?
so I kind of was spoiled already, and I'm both like curious about the season, but I'm also a bit concerned because it could mean that something bad may happen to her as a result. So I'm a little apprehensive about that. But as long as it's nothing too somber, I guess I'll be okay with it.
I understand.
I
Like,
mean, Zombie pointed out something bad seems to happen to Cora at the end of every season.
yeah, that's the thing though. Like, I guess that's the most depressing part, because it's like we know where Korra can go from here. And after season three, okay, so season one, something bad happened, everything was okay. Season two, something bad happened. It was not. It was kind of bad, but it resolved itself. Season three was like, okay, it's really bad. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess for all of us, it's like, how do I put it? It's like there's only one thing that could possibly happen to Cora now. I mean, everything has, essentially happened to her anyway, except for, well, that. So.
I wouldn't mind if that happened, to be honest. It would be interesting.
As long as they
Yeah.
don't pull her off, I don't care what they do.
Yeah, as long as they do it well. I won't be offended if they decide to kill Cora off at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Anyway, as long as they do it right, I guess I can go with that because I mean, Aang kind of has something happen to him as well later on. 'Cause, I mean, but we didn't see it, so I guess I'm okay with that. But still, I don't know. I have an issue with that in some ways. It just feels like I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. We don't know yet, so.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah.
I wonder where the Avatar franchise would go after Korra, if it would just like, if this is the end of the franchise.
Honestly, I would just hope they would go from. I would rather they go to comics, and I would like to see an Earth, I would love to see, like, somebody such as an Earthbender Avatar, because that would be pretty fun to see, especially with now all the techniques that are kind of been revealed at season three. Like, I would love to see just how Earthbender would be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess another thing is, so I know you've been holding back, but so Cabaltios, what were you going to talk about with the Pokemon?
Okay, so this is after I watched these episodes, and okay, so I'll start off with the ending of season 15. So near the end of it, like at one point, I believe it was around Burbank Gym where it happened, we got introduced to the Pokemon Meloetta. Now, the way they had this was that they basically had her with Ash for a good chunk of episodes, kind of to simultaneously advertise Black and White 2 and do or some other stuff in that regard. and they had her kind of with them for a while. And see, the thing is that it kind of bums me because they had them getting really friendly together, and I thought, okay, maybe just maybe the writers will be nice and let them catch her, because at this point, like in last saga, we had let's see, we had 3 people near the end of the saga with legendaries. So I think if they give Ash one that isn't completely overpowered, that's fine. But no, instead, what they did was that they had this one guy appear at the beginning of the two-parter that we had no idea about, just out of nowhere. Explained that like Millerwhite got taken from this one place that we're hidden from, which is usual in these kind of things. And I literally went, so you trolled us the whole damn time. Thank you, writers. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, really, like, god damn it. So the whole thing was never going to happen in the first place because she was supposed to be with them in the first place, but, like, god damn it. Otherwise, though, that two-part was actually pretty good. It actually elaborated more, and I thought it did a pretty good job of kind of showcasing the theory and forms of the Jin trio. I also kind of thought it was kind of neat to see Team Rocket actually being evil for once, but also in a way knowing when to kind of give up, because in most cases some villains just don't know when. But that's not even the worst part. This one, I was okay with it later on because I thought, okay, you know what, I can understand why they would do that. Then comes the part that got me kind of really annoyed. It was the League. Now, for the last 4 sagas, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, they've been pretty good. Kanto was understandable because Ash was just starting out, so obviously he wouldn't win it. Johto wasn't too bad either. We had a nice clash between him and Gary at the end, and an equally good one with him and this other guy. We had a Blaziken, but that's okay because that's for Hoenn. Hoenn wasn't too bad either. We had another 6-on-6 matchup later on at the end with another guy he loses to, but that's okay too. Sinnoh was the best because it had him face off against Paul, and that was the best because it was a nice, badass 3-parter that really kind of was this whole clash between these 2 different characters that we were shown have very different personalities and very different ways of training. And it ended with Tobias, who was this like force to reckon with, by all these legendaries. So what they did here was, I dare say it, an insult. So they had Trip, which I'm sorry, he kind of wasn't as big of a rival as he was ending up to me, and the fact that they had like a dozen other rivals added to this thing as we went along. By like this time, we had actually like 5 rivals by the time this happens. So we have like Stefan, Bianca, I don't remember their names now, Trip, a couple other guys I think, and it just did not go the way I thought it would. Like, Trip was one battle, one-on-one, which on one hand is basically writer saying, let's just write this guy off now and get it out of the way. It wasn't even an episode long, so this big hype for this final battle between these 2 guys wasn't even that big of a deal, which kind of was insulting. And then he had him fight Cameron. That's the guy's name. I forget him because he's I don't like him. This guy. He's like we get introduced to him around just before the 2-parter with Millerwhite, and this guy, he's very scatterbrained. He tends to like forget things really easily. He just, I don't know. I don't like him at all. And his team was better than Ash's team. The Ash for Unova, he actually had some decent guys fully evolved. He didn't use them. Like, the writers were basically setting this guy up to lose from the get-go. I was like, and the worst part was Cameron even forgets it's a 6-on-6. It's like a 5. Him has 5 versus Ash is 6. And of course, Delaware's like, oh, let's just evolve one of his guys at the end. No. Why are you doing this? It was insulting. Like, he had a Riolu evolve to Lucario, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, writers, why are you doing this to me? And I guess to add insult to injury, they had the guy that was introduced before the league. He's this EV trainer. He trains all different forms of EV, so he's that during the league. There's your champion right there. Just like, why? Don't do this to me. I mean, Cameron was bad enough. Why do you have to introduce this guy and have him be the champion? And I guess in one way, part of the reason why I wasn't too fond of this was because they set it up in such a way to kind of mimic the way that Kanto worked, because I guess Ash lost in the, what was it? It was quarterfinals. So he made the top 16, which is what happened here. I understand they're trying to emulate Kanto since the beginning. However, There's a way to do it. There's a way to, and there's also the fact that you have another 4 sagas behind you of plot development. I know what you're trying. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to copy Black and White the game, but there's a way to do that, and you didn't do it right. It just, I almost don't want to watch this anymore. I almost want to go straight to X and Y now. But on the other hand, I need to finish because I want to see if they actually do fix something along the way. If Team Plasma is at least somewhat related to the games, I'll be happy. Even if it's not completely, there's a chance. And if they even fix that, I'll be somewhat happier. Maybe it won't be as painful to watch. But oh my god, I had to skim through the league just to see just what they ruined. And so for those of you listening, if you please, by all means, at this point, skip Unova. I don't even care. Just skip Unova. Save all the trouble. Just skip it. But if you really feel you have to watch it, if you really feel you have to just watch some of it, watch the first 20 episodes of Black and White. Then after that, just stop it, and then just jump straight to X and Y. You're not missing anything. I swear to God.
Okay.
If that, just if you really wanted to still watch it, go to like Adventures in Unova and Beyond and watch the part, and try to find the episode where Alexa joins in. Watch from there, because at least then you'll get the transition from Unova to X and Y.
It's weird because Black and White was supposed to have like the best story.
Oh, I know. That's the worst part about it. And I know why it happened is because in March of 2011 they had the whole tsunami thing happen in Japan, which you might not think it's a big deal, but then around almost the exact same time they had a two-parter between Team Rocket and Team Plasma, and somewhere in that two-parter, Castilia City almost gets destroyed. Now, do you really want to show an episode where a city gets destroyed? Well, in a real-life event, Tokyo or somewhere nearby gets destroyed. That would be kind of sensitive, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So as a result of that, one, they can't show Team Plasma anymore for a while, and two, they have to practically rewrite the entire region because of it. Because now they can't do Team Plasma, so they have to completely rewrite to compensate for that.
Do you think there'd be like some? I get that they're trying to be like respectful and all, but when you have to ruin your whole show just to like write around this incident,
And I think the worst part of it is they had these club battles happen. Like they introduced it in the first chunk of it with I guess the Dawn battles, and what they had these I guess mini competitions. And the worst part is they had so many of them that the significance of the league was dropped to almost like just this other ending. This traditional ending point, which is stupid because some of these mini competition things were actually better than the league itself, which is saying something because like they had better characters, they had better battles. It just I don't know what they happened. Like they had too many of these. And Ash's rivals, I'm sorry, but he had a few of them, but Trip, the one that's supposed to be the main one, just got dropped suddenly somewhere around the way. And it just, I don't know, compared to Paul, compared to Gary, it just wasn't the same. It just didn't feel right.
Oh wow!
I think they honestly
Scary.
plateaued. I feel like they plateaued with Sinnoh. I really do. X and Y is at least bearable to watch, and animation's great, and at least there's nothing they can actually ruin this time around. So. Well, nothing significant anyways. They have Team Fleur coming up, but there's nothing significant they can ruin, game-wise, I feel.
Yeah.
I'll be amazed if they do, though, but if I haven't seen anything so far they can ruin it, and they also have this little subplot romance thing they can maybe work with that they haven't, but they could. So they have a lot more to work with this time, so I have some decent expectations for X and Y, but just...
Okay.
They had a couple moments here in Rival Destinies that wasn't too painful, but it just too much.
Yeah.
does Ash have a lot of love interests? I imagine he would have racked up quite a few by now.
One-sided. It's usually one-sided from what I can tell.
For the girl or Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl.
Like I think Annabelle was interested. Angie's kind of interested. What else? God damn it! There's at least two more.
I would just figure after like 16 seasons, you'd probably have a decent stable of.
I honestly think it's based on what the writers feel like doing because Sinnoh was like really well. Sinnoh, despite all the fillers it had, any episode with character development, any episode that had battles was just really well thought out, and it really shows the classic Ashby, creating these random strategies that somehow work. We didn't see any of that in Unova, almost none of it, and character development was just it didn't feel right. And the funny thing is that the whole idea behind Iris, they actually kind of cast off, they kind of hint at the whole idea of her being a gym leader. Like at the end of this thing, I'm like, you're kidding me? You mean she's never intended to be a gym leader in the first place? God damn it! And I almost feel like she has the most character development of the whole cast. Iris, like it's just her. Why, it got to a point. It got to a point in Black and White where Team Rocket stuff was more interesting. Where on some occasions they'd be more interesting to watch than Ash was at times. Which then instead of getting me more, okay, something weird is going on now. Because I got more interested in what I know, they're the bad guys, but I got more interested in what their plan was, and just the stuff did not pan out the way it was supposed to.
So avoid Unova.
Well, yeah, most of it, if you can. If you really are curious, I would say track down where the gym battles are and find any two-parters if you can. And those are the interesting ones. Or, I hate to say this, but find any episode that has a Team Rocket plot in it. That it says something. This Unova is pretty much Team Rocket centric, really.
Okay.
So far, at least. It might be better with Team Plasma. I don't know yet because I haven't seen it, but I am planning to watch it because I need to get that figured out. But just,
Okay.
so yeah, I'm good now. I'm so sorry.
I'm glad you're able to get that off your chest, man.
And you and Vordy, I don't know how you guys can just march through those gigantic series like that.
What I'm gonna do is that because I have my upcoming plate is coming up soon, so what I'm planning on doing, I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna do 2 episodes of Pokemon, another episode of whatever shows I'm using for my plate. Go back to another 2 episodes, another episode, just kind of branch off because when I was watching the League, I was so frustrated. I'm glad it was a Thursday I was watching this because then I could just watch Ruby and just get that all off my chest there. Just relax and enjoy Ruby. That was how well the timing was. I'm like, let's watch Ruby, get all this frustration off me. Just enjoy it. And I'm glad that's what the episode was, because I'm glad.
Well, I guess if we don't have anything else, that's pretty much it for this Plightcast. I mean, really, nothing really big went down this past month. I think everybody's gearing up for October,
What's October?
A whole slew of stuff late September, early October, because that's when fall officially starts for television everywhere, apparently.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. Also comics, also everything else. So we'll probably be seeing a lot more stuff as it comes down. But
Batgirl's starting pretty soon too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But once again, if you want to make any comments, questions, anything about the Plightcast, just get us at the Plight, or you can get at me at Gmail or Twitter. But I guess that's it for Plightcast number 14. This is Kari Elson signing off.
I'm Solo. And Cobaltios.
Thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day and enjoy your weekend, or your next weekend, rather.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, bye.